Hey friends, Keith and Christy with you. Today is Tuesday, and we are here at our home to come to you guys to bring you kind of a COVID-19 update. Of course, we've been doing this since last Sunday, every other day, and we've had about everyone who's in charge of something in this city on here. We've always had, and we missed you, Tracy. We did our last show and you weren't on there. He was out with his family.
Which is nice.
Which is nice. So
yes. We had fun. Sorry I missed you guys.
No, we're glad you're always with us. And today we've got three great guys with us. We have City Councilman Paul Stuart, who is City Councilman over Ward 2, which is ours. He's our City Councilman. We also have, of course, Tracy Roles, the police chief there. And we have Derrel Fincher, who is our Oklahoma representative, District 11, which is our district. So we're so glad these guys are with us. Real quick, let's get the numbers real quick so you guys will be updated and ready to roll on this. So we have 565 positive cases in the state of Oklahoma. We have 177 that are in the hospital currently right now. We have 1,229 negatives. And I'm going to have Derrel Fincher talk about that in a second, what that kind of means when we say 1,229 negatives. We also have 23 deaths, guys, and that's 23 too many. Now, for Washington County, we have 21. It was yesterday, it was 20, so we've gone up one. Our friends over in Osage County have 16. They have 5 in Nowata, and Tulsa, our good friends down in Tulsa, have 83, and they have 3 deaths. So it's just... the numbers are going to continue to go up, and we all know that. And so we say that every show that we do, and it's going to be okay. We're still going to make it through this, and I want you guys to know I've got some websites I want you guys to go to. If you ever need some information, these are great websites, and these will all be at the bottom of the page. So ok.gov, it's coronavirus.health.ok.gov. That's where I get all my numbers from. Also, cdc.gov, the federal government's website's always great to go to. And I'm going to tell you this hotline every time we do this because I want you to put it in your phone. 877-215-8336. So put that in your phone, guys. Of course, for Bartlesville and the surrounding areas, we have Jane Phillips Medical Center. That number is 918-333-7200. So, okay, I want to go to Derrel, Representative Derrel Fincher. Good morning. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you doing? Beautiful day outside.
Oh man, I'm telling you, it's supposed to be like 72. We're doing our show for the new magazine that's coming out today, our April issue, and we're going to go outside and do our show. By gosh. So, okay. Derrel, I want to know, there's some things out there. I'm glad you're with us today because you are connected to the state more than anybody here that's talking to us right now. And kind of tell us real quick what's going on. What's going on down there at the Capitol that you can share with our friends out there, our 22,000 people who follow us.
Well, first, let's just talk briefly about the legislature. We really only have one duty in the House, and that's to pass a budget. Everything else flows from that, the help we do for constituents. And when we started seeing that this was coming, we passed emergency rules that allow us in the House to actually vote without us all having to physically be there. We still get enough time to look at the bills, to make a decision on them, but we're only going to use it for critical bills. And so 2 things are going on. First, the budget. We have to pass a budget, and our budget people in both the House and the Senate, the representatives and the senators in charge of the budget, have been working together. Chairman Wallace has been working with, in the House, has been working with Chairman Thompson in the Senate, and also with the governors negotiating the budget. They feel they're close. The second thing, of course, is we do have what we call the rainy day fund informally.
Yes.
We're going to have some authorization to be able to pull money out of that to make up for shortfalls both this year and next year in our reserves. And so then as we go through and pass the budget, that's a critical bill. We will do that. Right now, leadership in both the House and the Senate, as I understand from the Senate, I can't speak for their side, have asked every chair of every policy committee to look at bills that have to absolutely positively be passed this year. Those basically are going to be the only ones that we're going to hear right now, unless some miracle happens and we're able to all get back together. And so that's what's happening up at that level for the legislation.
Okay, so we've got so for Washington County and the district, now you go all the way down almost to Skytook, right? And a little bit.
I actually, yeah, it's actually Representative Strom is on the west side of Highway 75 in Osage County, and Representative Roberts is on the other side. I actually go down the east side of Washington County, then I kind of skip over and hit Collinsville, and so I do have all of Collinsville down in Tulsa County.
Okay, great. Okay, Derrel, we'll come back to you here in a second. I want to go with City Councilman Paul Stuart. Hey, Paul, how you doing, brother?
I'm good. Yourself?
Good. Hey, listen, you've been really you've been proactive since this whole thing hit a couple weeks ago, and you're very proactive. Yeah, and Paul, Debbie Neese, who Debbie Neese, she works for the History Museum, and she's one of our big writers. She said, Paul Stuart, thank you for being constant positive link to all things Bartlesville and Oklahoma. So we know that you're out there sharing the things that we put out. You're out there always engaging in the things that we put out, asking questions to our other guests that we've had on the show. So how's it going? I know that they're having an advisory board meeting today at 1:30 down at the city, and for you guys to vote on some stuff next week. So tell me real quick, Paul, what's going on right now in Bartlesville, in your eyes? What's going on?
Well, and so that advisory committee, it has the mayor and the vice mayor on it, and then some of the local professionals in the medical field, and Chief Roles, I believe, is on it, and Chief Banks with the fire department, and a few other people, and they're going to kind of look at the information we have so far and make some recommendations on if the city needs to adjust our ordinance, to make it more or less strict for different things.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, I know also, Chief, I know Tulsa put in I called it the Keep Your Butts at Home order a couple days ago, I guess it was. And so I think right now with the numbers that I'm seeing, Washington County is 5th in the state when it comes to positive numbers. So kind of tell us what that means for Tulsa, because we have a lot of people in Tulsa that follow us, but you might see that sticking up here to Bartlesville and Washington County. And what would that mean? What would that mean for us?
Right. Well, first of all, I don't want to be presumptive to think what may happen.
Sure.
As far as restrictions. Could it happen? Yeah, it could happen. But we're a little bit away from that right now. Maybe I'll have some more insight after the emergency advisory board meeting that happens today. I think that we'll probably discuss some of those things. But basically in Tulsa, Mayor Bynum just made it more restrictive than what the governor's order originally was. So the governor said if you're of the vulnerable population, you would be safer to stay home. Now, you can still leave your home for critical things or essential things, such as going to the grocery store, medical procedures, getting prescriptions, and things of that nature. Mayor Bynum and I think Mayor Holt in Oklahoma City did the same thing. They made it more restrictive, saying not just the vulnerable population, but everybody that's not in an essential or critical infrastructure type industry needs to stay home. Tulsa has also closed down their parks. They're closing down their golf courses. So they're taking more restrictive measures to flatten the curve, just as Oklahoma City is. I think Tulsa and Oklahoma City are the two. Naturally, they have more people, so
Sure.
Their numbers should be higher.
Sure.
They do. So they're really trying to flatten the curve. And then Cleveland County, Norman's in Cleveland County, again, a very large population in that area. So I don't know if it's coming to Bartlesville. It could, but right now there's no indication or talk of it coming this way, the more restrictive procedures, but it certainly could.
Sure. Well, and over the weekend, it's Tuesday, and over the weekend, we saw a lot of people out in the parks and playing, which, I love that. I mean, I want people to get out of their house and go out and enjoy this beautiful weather that we've been having. And so, Derrel, when we look at Washington County in the whole, we're the smallest county in Oklahoma, but we're the best county in Oklahoma. So
I agree with that.
Heck yeah.
Except for Tulsa, because I represent Tulsa too, and part of Rogers.
Well, I want to talk about real quick about, I know you're putting out a lot of emails too, so you're keeping everybody informed. What do you see? I mean, what do you see when we look at the numbers? I know testings, when we say negatives, we say 1,229 negatives. Now, that's only testing with the state of Oklahoma. That's not other companies testing, right?
No, and they haven't quite, as far as I can tell with my conversations with the Department of Health, is they haven't quite gotten down where they get all the negatives from all the other people who are doing testing.
Okay.
They're absolutely essential on getting the positive. One of the challenges that we have, of course, is we just didn't have enough testing capability when this took off. So what was it, late last week when the governor was talking about, we were showing slightly over 100 or around 100, he said, I'm sure we've got 500 into the thousands. Yes, that's absolutely true. We have thousands of people who are infected. We just haven't tested them and gotten it notified. And so what I tell people is take this seriously, maintain your distance from others. When you go outside, social distance, stay away from them, make sure you wash your hands. The main mode of transmission seems to be inhaling droplets. There's some concern aerosols, which are really, really tiny droplets, might persist a little bit longer, but stay away from people, which is why we do have the social distance. And this is really serious. So we do need to make sure that we take all these precautions.
Well, it is serious. And that's why we do this show every other day, because we want people to be informed and we want people to get the accurate information that's out there, not all the other stuff that we can read on social media. So that's why we've had such good guests all week. And we're going to continue, because on Thursday we do this. Yeah, I do have something to say here. This will go. I want all you guys to answer this real quick. We'll start with Derrel. This comes from we have friends who have COVID-19 and have not been tested. The numbers reported are not reflecting a true representation of the actual health emergency in Oklahoma. Is there a way for the people who are caring for themselves at home to be counted? With the new promising technology, these survivors could be the best patients to supply plasma for the treatment and to help further the cure. So basically, we know the numbers are probably not accurate as much as we think they are, but that's all we got to go off of. So when we say 21 in Washington County, Derrel, it could be 41.
Well, it's probably far more than that. We've probably had people who have had it and recovered from it. They may have just felt miserable. One of the hallmarks of this, I think, is how long it stays with you.
Yeah.
And I think part of your question had to do with, do you develop antibodies? They do think that once you get it, you're not likely to get it again anytime soon. They haven't proven that. The second thing is yes, a lot of people who actually had the symptoms were never tested. And there were a large number of reasons, boiled down primarily to we just didn't have enough tests.
Right.
So the so-called explosion of cases you see in the U.S. is not because the cases have exploded, it's because we're detecting far more, but far more people are getting it. Now, one thing they are looking at is an antibody test, which would be much simpler. Have you developed the antibodies to this virus? That would actually tell us who got it. And there's a lot of debate if you've read the scientific articles about what exactly that means, but it is a way for us to go in and start moving forward from where we are, because the sun will rise again.
Yes. Yes, it will. It will rise over this state and this city, I guarantee you, in the country. So, Paul, real quick, kind of go off what Derrel was saying. I mean, the country in itself is being thrown on its knees here. And as a city, our unemployment's going to skyrocket all across the nation. We've got a lot of people out of work right now. We're trying to do as much as we can out there to support the local businesses here in Bartlesville, to use the restaurants, to do all those things, and quit ordering from Amazon.com because you're afraid to go out. You can go out and buy stuff, people, and let's shop local. So keep it local. So, Derrel, what do you want? I mean, Paul, what do you want to say out there to everyone about, let's keep things here in Washington County and Bartlesville. Let's keep things here.
Yeah, let's, I agree with you. We won't be able to do that. We talked about, the budget. Normally we keep a flat budget for the city. And now we're looking at, is it flat or is it even lower? And do we need to reach into our rainy day fund, to help stabilize things until we get through this over the next year or two?
Right.
So luckily we've got several rainy day funds, and because of the people that were on the council before me, they're pretty well funded right now. We've got the highest credit rating of any municipality in the state because of that.
Wow. I didn't know that. That's good. Good job, Bartlesville.
Yeah, and I would tell people too, when they're shopping, go in and buy what you want and grab it and leave. Because I see at the home improvement store, you go in and you pick something up and you look at the box and then you set it down. You look at the other one down the aisle, and so have the other thousands of people that have been in there.
Right.
And so it's easy for you to spread by doing that. Just go in, grab what you want, and then go check out.
Yeah, and as soon as you leave any kind of store, guys, keep that hand sanitizer with you. I think most of your big stores now are caught up with what we had last week with the rush to get toilet paper and all the things that we're trying to go get. I know Walmart has pretty much caught up now with the demand that we had last week. So when you go in a store, hand sanitizer when you get out, get home, wash your hands for more than 4 seconds. It's called 20 seconds, wash your hands, guys. So Tracy, hey buddy, so for the chief of police in your role, which we're so glad you're the chief, I'm just saying, what do you think, Tracy, when we look at 3 months down the road? I know you don't like to do that, but as a city, I think we're going to have the fire chief on here Thursday too. You guys are on the front line. Your men are out there talking with people, pulling people over, assisting people, going to calls. And so what are you telling your guys out there to do to stay safe? Because sometimes social being away from somebody isn't the case sometimes.
Yeah, we've really changed our operation as far as our proactive type enforcement stuff. We're not pulling as many people over. We're not taking as many people to jail. We're trying to answer calls in a different manner via phone. We're encouraging online reporting through our website and through our app.
How's that going, by the way? How's that going?
It's going well. The citizens of Bartlesville are really doing a good job, and I think this is important to note. Our calls for service have really gone down, and I think it's because people are being more responsible. They're being more thoughtful. Their minds are probably on other things, so their minds are occupied. But for whatever the reason is, our calls for service have really gone down. So we haven't had as many opportunities to take people to jail. Now, we've still had some bad things happen, and that's always going to be the case. No matter what's going on in the world, people are going to still make bad decisions. But our crime rate has really gone down since the onset of this, which is good for us because it's allowing our officers to not have to contact as many people. Now, I'm not saying that we're driving better, because I've come into work today and people are still driving like crazy. But our officers are not out there being proactive. They're more reactive. They're more in the neighborhoods, driving around, being visible so we can stay ahead of these property crimes and these possible business burglaries and things like that. So, 3 months down the road, Paul mentioned, and you guys talked about the budget. We're in the process of putting our budget together, and it's really an unknown because we don't know which direction to go. Right now we are about 15 officers below the state average for a town our size, and we were making some progress getting closer to that number. But now that's on hold because I can't in good faith go to the city council and ask for more people when we don't even know what sales tax is going to look like in the next year or so. So it's really interesting how we put together a budget right now in this very unknown. And that's another thing I'd like to remind people.
Yes.
Public safety in our town is funded solely on sales tax. And if you are not spending your money here, that is going against public safety efforts. It's going against other things in our city, but public safety obviously is what's near and dear to my heart. And so when we're spending our money online, or we're going to Tulsa, we can't really go to Tulsa now because they're closed down. So hopefully that means people will spend more money here.
Yes.
But spending it online, that goes against our public safety efforts here in the city of Bartlesville. So be mindful of that. I'm not asking you to,
Sure.
Give us more money, but in essence, I'm asking you to provide so that the city can provide a better public safety avenue and direction for our city overall. So just be mindful of that when you have the choice to buy locally or to get online. Remember where those tax dollars go, because we don't get money from your Amazon order. The city does not get funded through your Amazon order.
Well, that's good. That's really good to know. And that's, we're all about Bartlesville and Washington County, but we just got to really come together, and we have. And that's what's so great about this city. That's why I love this city so much, and why we do what we do, is because the people of this city, just when it hits the fan, we come together like no other.
And I think just like you guys have had to be creative in your jobs.
Yep.
You've all had to regroup, rethink, and the businesses in Bartlesville are doing the same thing. The grocery stores are giving us better options on curbside and pickup and delivery with just about everything from food to groceries. So, you don't just give up and think, I can't go get what I need here because, I'm afraid of what the changes are. Make the phone call if you have to, or look it up online. There's some good resources. We can still shop local and spend our dollars here.
Yes, we can.
And help everybody in the process.
Okay.
And Christy, to piggyback on that, if I could,
Yes.
sometimes things like this make us better in the long run, because we humans are creatures of habit. We get into a certain pattern, and that's just the way that we operate. And we do that with blinders on, not knowing if that's the best and most efficient way in which we should operate. So sometimes things like this come along, get us out of our comfort zone, get us off of our normal trajectory.
Yes.
And as we look at the new norm, we may say, well, we should have been thinking about this all along. We could have been doing it this way, and this way may be better. So although these are very difficult and trying times, again, look at the positive. This could help us learn. This is going to help us grow and become better in the future. So, not that I want a virus to come around every so often to make us better, but just different things that get us out of our comfort zone and out of our norm, and keep us from being complacent. So look at the positive. We're going to learn from this. We're going to be better because of it.
Yes,
I know here at the police department, we're going to be better because of it. Like I said the other day, it sucks right now, but it's going to be better when all this stuff passes.
That's right. Embrace the suck.
That's right.
Okay, guys, we got 5 minutes left, and so it will automatically cut us off. So I want to kind of get to everybody real quick. I need about 30 seconds, 45 seconds at max on this. So I want each one of you guys to tell everybody out there, just what's on your mind right now. Derrel, what's on your mind right now that you want to tell everybody?
Well, what's on my mind right now is I've been receiving messages from constituents asking, is this constitutional what the governor is doing? Do the cities have the authority? And the answer is, yeah, pretty clearly it is. We actually, legislature back in '68 gave the governor authority under Title 21, Section 13. I can't remember right off the bat, but the governor does have the authority. All states have this. It's not unconstitutional.
Good. Paul, real quick, buddy. What do you want to tell everybody out there in Bartlesville, and of course your ward here? Well, you know what? It's not even about wards anymore. It's about Bartlesville. It's about Washington County and about the state. So forget the wards. So that for us, Paul.
Well, so I've noticed that I know a lot of people have had their hours cut back and they've lost their jobs, but there's a lot of other businesses that are hiring, that have seen it pick up. I tried to find a bunch of them and post them on my Facebook page as much as I can, but there's a lot of them out there, and try to find those ones that are that are deemed essential.
Yes.
Because they're going to be able to hire you and they're going to be packed. The other thing is when you're going out, be safe to make sure that you're not spreading it, because one of my concerns is we've got a lot of families here that are grandparents raising their grandkids. And if those grandparents go in the hospital, what happens to those kids? And we need to make sure that we keep their grandparents healthy.
Good stuff, Paul, right there. Okay, Chief, real quick, buddy. What do you want to say real quick? I know you're going to be on that advisory board here in a couple hours, 1:30. So can you tell us what you're going to say to the advisory board, what you want real quick?
Well, today's meeting is just an overview. City Manager Mike Bailey is going to really direct that meeting with the mayor. So sometimes it's better not to hear my voice. And I think today in that meeting, they'll see my face and not hear my voice. So sometimes it's better to be thought an idiot than to open your mouth and remove all doubt. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. But one thing that I want to say to Bartlesville is we're going to be fine. Yes. Take care of yourselves, love your neighbor, be responsible, be respectful of the virus, but know that it's not going to beat us. No. We are going to win. We're going to be fine. Be positive. Think of cool things to do to take care of your mental health. You know, we talk about physical health all the time, but we got to take care of our mental health. Go outside, enjoy the weather. Hope it gets hot soon, because hopefully that'll knock this thing out. Yes. But go out and be a part of the solution and take care of each other.
Great job, guys. Hey, we really appreciate you guys joining us today. Just like the chief said, you know, we have a lot of people watching us from a lot of different states around the United States. And so whatever city you're in, lift up your city in prayer, and in your state too, because that's what we're doing. We're trying to lift this city and this county up in prayer. And we love everyone here, and we just appreciate everyone and all the things that you guys do. So thanks for joining us today. We'll be back with you on Thursday. We love you guys, and God bless.